Hey guys, can you hear me now? Okay, I'm hoping this maybe works. Maybe you all can hear me now. If you missed it earlier, I said I'm meteorologist Alexa Minton. Basically, the plan is we are focused on, okay, hold on.
Hey y'all, can you hear me now? I'm hoping that works. Okay, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Since you all couldn't hear me say earlier, I basically told y'all that I'm a one-woman show, so I'm working my best back here with the technological stuff, but obviously, if this is your first time joining a live with me involved, basically what I usually do, you guys comment your guys' stuff. I'm looking at the comments live as we talk about this stuff, so I will do my best to make sure that we kind of keep things in check for what we're expecting this time. So hopefully that will help a little bit at least. Maybe potentially. Maybe that helps with an echo. Maybe it doesn't. Hello, we'll test with that. Okay, well I'm doing my best, y'all.
You all let me know if this helps or if this doesn't help at all. How's this one? Better echo? Undo the last thing that I did. Maybe this helps? Okay, what about this one, guys? Better echo or no echo? Okay, we're gonna do our best to roll with what I've got. Hopefully this is helping out a little bit. Okay. Okay, hopefully this is all working out, guys. Basically, as you can see, there's some active stuff that we're going through. I see it. We have around 300 of you in the chat. Welcome, welcome. Go right back before you hit it the second time. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and start talking, so hopefully this will work out and we'll get some information as needed. One thing that we're focused on right now is there's some active weather obviously headed our way. I told you all in the morning news. It's still sticking with us as we go. We can already see that there's a tornado warning box that has been placed to our friends in Tennessee. There's also a couple severe thunderstorm warning boxes that have been placed down there as well. Now, the other thing we're focused on is obviously you can see there's some widespread rain, but you can see a lot of these little isolated cells are in fact loaded with lightning. So lots of weather activity as we're planning today. So let's go ahead, walk through all of it. One thing that I also want to point out is that we have issued a first alert weather day because we had a little bit of rainfall in parts of the overnight. We're kind of in this slice of activity at the moment. Things we're focused on, it's windy skies that we've really been dealing with all morning. You might have seen some really strong wind gusts. That warm front just pushed through, so you might have stepped outside and been like, hey, guys, this is really warm outside. Well, it's because we just had a warm front pass through. Temperatures are now looking at around like 60 degrees, so it's getting really warm, like the calm before the storm. So that's what we're starting to see, and it's a lot of that activity is happening. So we see this next low pressure region. It's like coming towards us. What's going to end up happening is it's going to like merge with the activity that we're already having, and then it's going to give us even more of that severe threat chance. So first alert weather day. I know Chris broke down a lot of this for everyone yesterday. It's in effect for today and tomorrow. Most of this activity is going to be happening tonight and throughout parts of the overnight. Things we're looking at, we have these strong storms, we're going to have these high winds consistently, and we're going to have the potential for some snowflake storm. Now, that's not the main part of our severe weather forecast that we're really harping on, but one thing we are focused on is these strong storms that are headed our way. They're going to start to hit central Kentucky at around 3 o'clock. So I'm talking if you're all along I-75, that's where you're going to get most of the activity. But specifically, the Storm Prediction Center, which I'm sure a lot of you all know about, they issued a severe threat. It's usually not late in the season that we see this, but it has now blanketed the entire state. So the areas that we're really focused on, marginal means that level 1 risk. So if you're in eastern Kentucky, you only have a marginal risk for today. You all have some stuff in store for the next time. But I'm talking Somerset, London area. Keep on edge. You guys have the potential of getting pretty active. Anywhere that's south of I-64 and in between I-65 and I-75, if you all are in that region, that happens to be the area that we're really focusing on in regards to potential activity. So it's like a little rectangle at the state. You can see near that yellow area. One thing we're noticing is it's anywhere between I-65 and I-75 and everywhere south of I-64. That happens to be the hub of activity that we're focusing on today. And we're going to walk through it hour by hour. We can already see some of those thunderstorms that'll pop up as we approach that 1 o'clock hour for our friends in western Kentucky. They're going to start to become more scattered across the state, 2:30. Real activity is going to start around those dinner time hours. What we're focused on, dinner time, I'm talking 4:45 today. We start to see this rain rain band that's forming. It'll stretch down from Covington, wrap around Louisville, hit Fort Knox, Owensboro, go all the way down across the state. We see it centralizes at around 6:30. So if you're planning on going out anywhere near Cynthiana, Frankfort, Georgetown, I'm talking Scott County, 6:30, you guys are going to be seeing some heavy rain, potential of it turning into a thunderstorm. Same story if you are near the Fort Knox area, if you're near Louisville, or if you're down near Bowling Green, where we see those areas of red and orange and that heavy rainfall. It's coming to you. Now it's going to keep moving across. Once we see these thin rain bands, as I know you all know so very well, the risk with this is there's heavy winds on the front edge of the storm and some winds on the back edge of the storm. So that's what's fueling this all through. Now we're looking at around 8 o'clock tonight. Starts to hit parts of Lexington, Lawrenceburg. If you're in Nicholasville, it might start to hit your area, Danville, Richmond. And around that 8 o'clock hour, it'll be a little bit before Mount Sterling. It's coming towards you next. It'll be hitting you all around that 10 o'clock, maybe 9 o'clock hour. It's a pretty quick moving storm. You know, a lot of that activity starts to hit around early dinner time. We're now looking at 10 o'clock when it starts to hit our friends in eastern Kentucky. But you can see also once it hits that mountain line, it's losing some steam, folks. It's not going to be necessarily as severe, which is why that risk is really centralized around our friends Russell Springs, Bowling Green, Campbellsville. Those people need to be aware. Somerset and even London. I know they weren't technically in our slight risk, but we want to make sure that folks are staying weather aware as they go about their day. Now, here's the tricky part. That rain is going to continue pretty heavy for our friends in eastern Kentucky in the overnight tonight, and it's going to keep up with our friends in Harlan County, Hazard, even over in Pikeville. That rain persists throughout your Sunday as well, while the rest of central Kentucky is calming down. Look at how quick in the wake of all that activity we're going to drop in temperatures. You know, we're going to be, this is 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're seeing a 36 in Lexington, 39 in Richmond, 37 in Danville. Once we look then towards those midday hours, keep your eye on our friends over in eastern Kentucky. 3 o'clock tomorrow. Now, there is a potential for maybe a few flakes to spawn in parts of central Kentucky. I gotta say that because there's the chance that we could see some flakes. But what we're more worried about is those higher elevations out in eastern Kentucky. I'm talking anywhere east of Jackson. Let's say that. East of Jackson, London, we're lumping you in that whole area as well. There's the potential that you all could get some snow. As you can see, that snow is going to be hitting right now just east of the state line. We want to make sure that everyone's aware, especially if you're in those higher elevations. Sometimes our radar doesn't necessarily pick up what that could be happening in those higher elevations. So this is 5 o'clock tomorrow. Obviously, you're seeing a widespread snowman. So just make sure you're staying weather aware if you're looking out for that. One thing I want to make sure everyone is aware about, part of the reason that we have this severe threat is because of the strong wind gusts. Look at this, 5:30 today, we have the wind gusts. Now, these aren't your sustained winds. These are your wind gusts. 32-mile-an-hour winds in Lexington, 34-mile-an-hour winds in Mount Sterling, 34 in Richmond. It's going to start to taper off as that rain band pushes through. You know, 8 o'clock, that's when we start to say it's moving over towards central Kentucky. We see it's starting to leave. Those wind gusts are flowing out with it. By 1 o'clock in the morning, things are going to calm down for everyone except for our friends in eastern Kentucky. Eastern Kentucky, you all are getting the brunt of it in the overnight tonight. Again, I want to emphasize there's the potential, emphasis on potential, for a few flakes for us here in central Kentucky. Coating is possible for our friends in eastern Kentucky. Those high elevations all the way in eastern Kentucky have the potential of getting up to 2 inches, since that band is going to turn into some snowfall as we're looking a little later. So emphasis on what you have threats about. Obviously, we just saw that tornado warning box issued. We do have a minor hail risk. Main things we're focused on, though, is wind and localized flash flooding. Because there's those heavy wind gusts pushing through, and because we're seeing these heavy rain bands, things that we want to focus on is that there could be, you know, your creeks, your streams, they could overflow, spill over into the roadways. Any sort of low-hanging roadways without like proper, you know, when they have the trenches, not trenches, but like the dugouts on the side of your road. If they don't have that, there is the potential of pooling water on roadways. So make sure you need everything's prepared. I see someone's asking about wind in Pikeville right now. Unfortunately, there is going to be some stronger wind gusts in Pikeville. Now, this isn't necessarily like going to knock down everything and completely wipe it out, but there is the potential for up to around 40-mile-an-hour winds in the area. So again, to emphasize some of our stuff that I wanted to talk on, folks, it's the first alert weather day today and tomorrow. A lot of this activity is happening in parts of the overnight tonight, and it's transitioning from today and tomorrow. I'm saying mainly those dinner time hours is when we're going to start to see some of those scattered showers, and it's going to sweep across the area. thank you all so much for bearing with me while I do this in here. I really do appreciate it. As you guys can see, I'm like carrying my microphone back, so thanks for dealing with me with some of those glitches. I see a lot of your comments. If I didn't get to your comment live in action, I'm still in studio. I'll be doing my best. You can either feel free to call the station. I'll talk you through some things. I'm over answering some phones, but also I'll do my best to go back and answer some of your guys' comments. I really appreciate it. Everyone stay safe. There's obviously a lot of weather activity happening today, and it's not necessarily the season we expect weather activity, so make sure you're staying weather aware. Download our WKYT weather app. I highly recommend. It's constantly keeping you and your specific area updated as we kind of deal with all this funky weather today. So usually we have a graceful exit, but like I said, one woman show today, so you guys are going to see me run around and turn it off. But goodbye. Have a great rest of your guys' Saturday. Stay tuned to WKYT tonight. Meteorologist Ben Betas will be giving you more updates.